games by 30 every game.
For real.
Why didn't you win by 30?
Go get that lady calling into fucking Paul Feinbaum.
Hey, shout out to her.
Yo,
man.
she was going in. I'll never forget that shit.
Roll
Tide. Roll Tide. She was going there. Okay, so and then I want to talk about real quick. Let me get a quick pick for the Syracuse Notre Dame game. That's the marquee game I see that's being marketed right now. Do you think? Because they say Notre Dame is kind of suspect. You think Syracuse can pull off an upset?
I believe in Syracuse.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing. I like their offense. I like the way they. I like what the coach is doing. I like the players. I love their quarterback. I believe they have a shot. They're a 10-point dog, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the points in Syracuse. Notre Dame has their quarterback is a little messed up right now. He's shaky coming off an injury.
I just don't like Notre Dame.
Yeah,
There's something about them. Like it's just like something about Notre Dame.
Yeah, the gold helmet.
It's just like you got Mike Golick on there talking about hyping him up all the time and shit. And I don't know. It's just something like the fucking mascot.
Yeah, they're one of them teams you either love or hate them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You either love or hate them. They one of them teams. So
yeah, like they not in the fucking conference.
And they always overhyped.
Yeah, like we too good to be in the conference. Like who the fuck are y'all?
Yeah, like who they play this year so far?
I know they had like a couple of ranked games, but it's not like they. Whatever. I hope they lose. Shout out to Syracuse, man. Beat them boys, please.
Yeah.
All right, and then I want to touch on the NCAA basketball real quick. Shout out to the UB Bulls. Ranked. Took out West Virginia.
Shout out to the Bulls.
Man, I want to catch a couple of games this season, man.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Bulls looking good right now. I hope they keep it running. I like to see them back into the tourney. And I know you've been tuning into the Zion Williamson show and RJ Barrett, Zion Williamson, and Karen Reddish show and Duke.
Yeah,
that shit. I think that's the best show in sports right now.
Zion Williamson, like he eat basketballs for breakfast,
dude. Like I was telling Dave, man, he's a test tube baby.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson is not. He was not born. He was made.
Yeah.
They took
a project.
They took the DNA of the fucking. He's a monster. Like they took the powers. They took the Melo powers. They took they took Shaq and they took Barkley. And they fucking took a swab of LeBron hair and just made this dude. Like, what the fuck? Like his
hairline is pretty decent though, man. It's not LeBron hair.
He got the old school box top cut.
Yeah, he got the.
I fucks with Zion. I like RJ Barrett even. Man, that team.
I like it fits him though.
Yeah,
he real militant. He coming for business.
Man, the dude looks like a fucking defensive end playing basketball. The shit is not and it's all muscle.
Yeah,
who?
He's ready to play.
And he's skilled.
So he's automatically number one next year.
How do you turn it down? The upside is too good to turn down.
Man,
he has good handle. He's a very good defender, and him attacking the rim. Who want to get in front of him? Man, you taking the charge?
Yeah, he may be the new.
You
breed.
Trying to go up against him?
The new breed.
That's the prototypical 4 right now in the league. Mm-hmm. If he could develop, he showed me a couple of good, a decent 3-point shot. But if you can show that consistently, if he can shoot 33, 34, 35% in the league, oh man, it's over.
Yeah, it is.
And then RJ Barrett might even be a better overall basketball player at this point. That Duke team, I told Dave last recording, I don't think they're going to lose. I don't see them losing a game this season. The UNC games I'm looking forward to. They play Syracuse. I'm looking forward to that game. I want to see how they do against that zone. But man, give me Duke.
I don't.
Give me Duke.
Only way they lose in the game if they beat themselves.
Right, exactly.
And it happens.
And it does happen. But you got the best head coach in college basketball ever, in Coach K. I don't see him losing. And it look like they just having fun playing basketball, man. They beating teams by 40, 50. They beat their number 2 ranked team to start the season in Kentucky by what? Their freshmen beat them. The freshmen score more points than the actual fucking Kentucky did.
Yeah, some teams look like teams. They look like a crew.
Yeah, and they look like they genuinely
like
enjoy each other. Like they probably hang out all the time, playing 2K and shit. You know what I mean? Going
Phil
to
Jackson
parties.
called them posses.
Fuck Phil Jackson.
He said they posses.
Fuck
They
Phil
look
Jackson.
like a posse.
I hate that shit. But yeah, man. So Duke, I don't see them losing the game this season. I'm going to continue to watch them. Like I said, anytime I get a chance. All right, so want to save we saved the NBA for last year because we had a lot of big news happen this past week, and wanted to do a podcast this Sunday to talk about the trade. Wasn't able to, so I do want to start off there. So the big trade this weekend was the Philadelphia 76ers, my Philadelphia 76ers, I should say, trading for their third star, the last piece of the puzzle, hopefully, in Jimmy Butler, from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I thought it was, on paper, like I felt like it was a great trade for the value that Philadelphia got. And I feel like that Minnesota kind of left some stuff, some trades on the table.
You got better trades?
Yeah, actually, I had a list of trades here I'm going to read off to you in a few, but I want to get your thoughts and opinions on the trade. Who do you think is the winner and losers? And then I'm going to need a little bit of time because I got a lot of shit to say. But yeah, let me get your thoughts on it. Do you think it was a good trade on Minnesota side and on Philly side?
Yeah, I think it was a good trade for both of them. I really like Saric. I like what he brought to the game, what he brings to the table. Big guy. Big shot taker. He's a shot taker and a shot maker. I watched him close out a lot of games for the 76ers. It surprised me that they traded him. I thought they wouldn't have let him go, based on his age. And, he's a good player. He plays with a high IQ. And Covington, another one. He was a sniper. One of their snipers. And
two-way guy, the prototypical two-way 3-and-D wing.
He played. I mean, he shot. Catch and shoot was up there.
Led the league in catch and shoot threes last year.
So Jimmy Butler brings a lot to the table, but I feel like it's one of them. This is one of them situations where I believe Minnesota definitely got better based on what the vibe with Jimmy Butler and them playing with them.
Just the environment.
Yeah. So, and they got two dogs that's willing to do whatever. So you go from a prima donna. I shouldn't say prima donna. You go to a demanding person as in Jimmy Butler, and you trade him for two dogs. Everybody's happy now. In Minnesota, I'm sure everybody's happy. Derrick Rose get to take more shots. Towns get to have fun.
Yeah, the psyche of
Wiggins
Towns
get to have fun. They get to do their Fortnite dances and everything before, and everybody's laughing. And so that was a great move for them. And for the 76ers, right now, I believe they're gonna struggle. I believe it's gonna be a little just getting it.
Get their groove.
Yeah, getting their groove, getting it together, and losing Cyrus and Covington and what they brought to the table. They were loved in Philly. So, but I think they'd be good overall. I think both teams made out well in this situation.
I agree. All right, so
you think this is next level for you guys?
Listen,
are you a piece away?
Listen. So, Covington and Saric, and we traded Bayless as well. Got rid of him. He wasn't doing shit.
Bayless who?
Exactly.
His name is exactly Bayless? Oh.
Jared Bayless. Shout out to Jared Bayless.
Oh, okay. Jared Bayless. We know him.
All right, so I love Covington. I love Saric. Covington, one of the prototypical 3-and-D guys. Covington was our shot taker. He was that guy that, he wasn't afraid of the moment. Saric, I loved Saric's game. Saric, every season he starts off slow and then usually picks it up gradually because Saric doesn't stop playing basketball. Like after the season is over, he goes back to Croatia. He plays for this national team there. Comes back into the training camp preseason. Like he doesn't take time off, so he's tired. So he had tired legs. He was looking bad to start, and then he started to pick it up the last two games before we traded him. Love those guys. If you're a Sixers fan, they was part of the process, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Covington self-made. But
when did Covington start shaving his eyebrows?
I don't know.
I saw that the other day. It kind of shocked me.
Probably last year. But shout out to Cove.
Oh, okay.
But but it's like the move that we made. I get it. We had to make this move. We had to strike while the iron is hot. Last year, what the Sixers was missing, if you was watching Sixers basketball, and mainly the playoff game against the Celtics, we did not have a perimeter player, a wing that can create his own shot.
Can you say that again?
We did not have a perimeter player, a wing, who can create his own shot.
It sounded a little bit like a wing.
Dribble, create his own shot, and be able to make a big shot in clutch moments. Mm-hmm. Only person that we really had was Joel Embiid, and he's limited because he's a big man. And anytime he gets the ball into the post, he gets doubled. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot. He needs to develop a jumper to continue on with his progression. Awesome in everything else besides shooting. We finally got that player in Jimmy Butler. We got that big shot taker that can close out games for us on the perimeter, who is a decent three-point shooter, not great, because that's the only one thing that we also need is shooting, and is also a all-NBA defensive player. And that's the thing. Covington, I miss Covington. I wish we could have kept Covington and got rid of Markelle Fultz with Saric.
What's going on with Fultz?
I'm gonna get into that too. But in terms of like on ball defense, Covington was like above average on ball defender. He was more of an off ball defender, deflections, protecting, running from his man to the man driving to the rim to protect the rim, off ball defense. And he was first team all defense and led the league deflections and all that. But we got better on defense with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a much better on ball defender. I feel like his defensive IQ is just as good, if not better. And then he's much better on offense, being able to handle the ball, run pick and rolls with Joel Embiid, create his own shot.
He took a lot of stress.
Traces, yeah, exactly. Takes another ball handler in the backcourt there for us and backcourt scoring. So I love that aspect of it. And then it also allows us to take Markelle Fultz out of the starting lineup, and that experiment, I'm so glad that's pretty much done right now. We moved Wilson Chandler into the starting lineup, and JJ Redick back into the starting lineup. So we're able to spread the floor better. We have a more switchable wings. And last year, that's what we was missing against Boston. We had a bunch of white boys out there, and JJ Redick and Bellinelli in crunch time minutes, trying to stop fucking Jason Tatum. You had JJ Redick checking Jason Tatum.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like you fucking like Terry Rozier, you can't keep up with these fucking dudes. This shit was ridiculous. We had no switchable wings, we had no switchable guards, and then we didn't have nobody that can go and create their own shot. Too much fucking dribble handoffs. So I get why the Sixers made this move. We had to make this move, and I do feel like that the time is now.
That seemed like that matchup last year. It seemed like the high school team, whether it's like a prep school,
right?
Nichols, more so like, the way Philly came to the table, and I feel like Boston came with the dogs, hood, and they just out-hooded them. So
it was too much athleticism out there for them. Every game, we was in every game besides game one when they blew us out, and then every other game we was in it. And then just something just a lack of athleticism to play defense, or Brad Stevens
clear out.
Brad Stevens out coaching the fuck out of Brett Brown.
It was clear out.
Every aspect of it.
Rozier had chicken on him. Jaylen Brown, they all looked great. Smart looked great.
Right, you had fucking Aaron Baines hitting corner threes and shit. Like shit was like the shit that happened in that series was ridiculous. So
I think I hit with a perfect storm.
Exactly. So I think we had to go out and make this trade. Jimmy Butler, I think he makes us one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the East now. They got to figure it out. I watched this past game, so I had a little bit of time to dissect the trade. And watched the game on Wednesday against Orlando, and we gave up in Sixers fashion, give up a big fourth quarter lead, a 21-0 run. Fucking Terrence Ross is a Sixers killer. I can't stand him. Every time he plays. Remember we watched that game in Philly, and he hit that damn half court 3 and almost sealed it for him. The dude did the same thing this game. Fucking big 3 to seal the game. Man, fuck Terrence Ross.
I watched it. I seen that game on the schedule. And I said that was a dangerous game.
Yeah, and then
when we went and watched it, they played Philly good.
Yeah, they played them really well.
And barring that Ben Simmons did get injured the first quarter.
Yeah, he missed the rest of the game. But Embiid balled out, and JJ Redick won the game for us.
You told me that. You said Fournier is a problem.
Yes,
for the 76ers.
And then Terrence Ross roasted us. But
with that being said, you think Fournier is a problem now? with Jimmy Butler in.
No.
You know
Fournier didn't have a good game. Terrence Ross killed us and Vucevic.
Yeah, but they pretty much run their offense through Fournier. Though,
That's a fact.
Still, so.